Oh, I done hit it too early. Well, hello, me, it's me, and 0 other people. 1, 5. Cool. Maybe I'll go get a drink. 11. All right, there we go. It's starting to populate. William Olmeyer. There we go. All right, now it's a party. Now I don't care if it's just 5 people. Give me a second. Let me get a drink. I started this 2 minutes early. All right. Got the 18. Gotta polish this bottle. Now it's a Friday night quest. Ice ball maker. And believe it or not, the refrigerator I bought also makes these in mass, which is cool. Disappearing quickly. Nice. Gotta keep these things. Like, this is cool. WP, Whistle Pig. That's a nice touch. Oh, the bottle is getting smaller. You know what? I can use that to hold my screen. What's up, everybody? Now, the bug. Yeah, now I'm plugging away. I can want this bug that's here. It's like a fruit fly. How do you get a fruit fly? Miyagi this thing. I got a fly the other day. What's up? Hurricane Ian is back. Haven't seen that name in a while. What's up? I was just down in Florida, is what's up. And that was a good time. Love your content. Sipping on some Blue Label. I got a bottle of Blue right there that I haven't tapped yet. But let me show you this. We went down to Florida. It was myself, Matt Farah, Amelia Hartford, and Tanner Foust, and then a bunch of pretty sick cars that I selected to take part. And you get this little line up here. Boom. So we had a private racetrack rental and those things. I really like that S2000. You know I like Supras. But I'm not going to share any of the details as to how it went, but I can tell you we drove all those cars, and they're pretty sick. There's some pretty awesome cars on there. Jets are getting their asses kicked. That's great. When are you and Rob Dom going to race? I will race Rob Dom whenever. I don't watch I don't necessarily watch other people's YouTube videos. So, like, I see, like, I get hints as to what Rob Dom is doing, but I feel like he's just always working on this 4-rotor and it's never done. I know he has a race coming up on like the 6th, which is like this week. I just hope he gets it done in time and it lasts. If it does last, we can get it out for sorted, and that's going to be, well, that car's like perfect for sorted. That's like what the show is about. We can, yeah, my cousin Vinny's in the background over there. That's a big TV. You can see my little TV behind it. But the big TV I got to test out because I got it on Amazon for $550, which is like free. So that's delivered. What's up, Dr. M3? So I got that TV, tried it out. I wanted to see if my family liked it first before I bought more because I need like 12 TVs in my house, which sounds like a lot, but when you start like going, okay, there's one in the gym, there's one here, one here, one here, one here, it adds up very quickly. But cheers to you guys. Hmm. You may notice the goggles tan, the sunglasses, and then like we got some color. It's evening out a little bit, but all right. Let's see what we got here. Yo-Yo, Yo-Yo Dine's here. Good. Good thing is the sorted stuff is going to be up and running in like 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to be banging out those edits on that. You can bring a motorcycle on adventure drives. Huracan Ian says, "How is Tanner really? I've heard a few people say he's just a little prick. Thinks everything he touches turns to gold. Is that true? I don't get that. I've met Tanner. This is the best story I can give you about Tanner. Is the first time I ever met him, and I'm not arrogant enough to think that everyone knows who I am in the car industry, but he was working with Top Gear UK when they were filming that like Corvette something or other, the Corvette, the Challenger, and we were in Ely, Nevada, which is the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere. It's between Salt Lake and Las Vegas. So there's Salt Lake, there's Vegas, there's nothing, and then there's Ely, Nevada, right here. So they were staying at the 3-star casino, which is as bad as it sounds. And this place is like legitimately like mother, daughter, grandmother, like three generational like brothels. Like that's how ghetto this place is. If you live in Ely, Nevada, they're like, yeah, that's just Sally Ann Jr. Um, but we're like, oh, cool. Like, look at those cool cars here. Let's go over to the casino, see what those cars are about. And then we went in, and it's like the Top Gear guys are sitting at the bar. So we just go in and we start just chatting it up with Tanner, and he started like, I remember he like bought me, like he didn't know me from anyone as far as I know, but like bought me a beer and like we're just sitting there BSing about cars. So like, if he was really that guy that like, there's a common thing when you get like popular is that everyone thinks that you have to put on an act for them and like, hey, I know you, make me laugh. Like that's, imagine being like Chris Rock or Jerry Seinfeld. Hey, funny man, tell me a joke. Like some people, like you're just going about your life. And when you can't go anywhere or when you're in a situation where everybody's coming up to you, it sort of sucks. So that's what I generally credit people having like reputations for being nasty, is that they're just tired of being bothered. Hey, can you do this? No, I'm not going to record your voicemail. Like, it's like, I try to do as much as I can for people, but like if I'm having a bad day, and which I generally don't, but like if I am, or if I ignore you and I didn't even realize like you were waving at me or something like that, that's not me being an ass. I just didn't know you were waving at me. So that's possibly where you get it. My experiences with Tanner have been great, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so Tanner is, to me, not a prick. He's fun. We came out drinking with us each night, and he's a hell of a driver. So, and we have a very common interest in like I'm not gonna tell you which car was his favorite, but the one of the cars he drove during Sorted, he said it was the fastest car he's ever driven in his life. That's saying something. That guy drives race cars. Kevin Cunningham, is that Kevin Cunningham of the Cunningham family in Florida? Cool. What up? All right. Did you ever race in Yonkers when you were younger, like Nathan Zeg? Nah, I stayed away from Hunts Point and I stayed away from Yonkers. I went as far up as Middletown, as far down the Parkway, the Cheesequake, but mainly was in the Garden State Parkway, right in the center there. But I heard my friends who were cops were like, "Don't. There's like guns and stuff there. Don't go to those ones. It's not worth it." And I didn't race down in Newark ever either. Um, but one of the guys, Antonio Calvo, who built the Viper that was on the show, when I raced this, well, I was in the green Supra versus the black Viper well back in the day. What was it like? You remember Viper just took off? I was a supercharged Doug Levin Viper. Calvo was in the car right behind me. And then the guy with the silver Supra was also in that pack of cars racing that day. The guy that was there with the silver Supra that we were testing. So that was like, wow, like the three of us were literally street racing 5 cars apart once. And that was cool. Lambo and Rover GT, yeah, get them all. Get them all sorted. I was gonna make a list of all like the collections and the insurance things and the like. It's long now, but we're just so busy. Like I just assume it like works itself out because it doesn't go away, whether we collect it 6 months later or not. It is what it is. JB says, "What car is your favorite thus far in the show, and how are you guys distributing the show on YouTube?" So it's going to launch on YouTube. Um, yeah, it's going to launch on YouTube. So you'll see it on my channel. You'll see some like other videos cut together on Matt's channel. Tanner will promote it. Amelia will promote it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. My favorite car. I mean, they're all different. That's why we could have gone like 3 Porsches or something like that, or whatever. We purposely like selected a variation of cars because they're all different. Um, excuse me. Amelia pointed out Ivan Drago. That was very cute. Cool. Um, Amelia pointed out that they were all forced induction, and I'm like, you know what? They are, but that's where the big power comes from. Nobody's running like a 750 or 800 wheel horsepower like LS V12 or something like that yet. But there were a bunch of like LS swaps and stuff like that, 550 wheel. It's whereas I have no doubt that that will work. I just I don't know. It didn't feel modified enough for me. Like just swapping an LS into an RX-7 doesn't. Yes, it's highly modified, but you're making it more reliable than the platform you had. Sorted will for season 1 will launch first on YouTube, and that's going to turn pretty quick. That'll be in a couple of weeks. Let's see here. Where do we go? D-Rock, what up? Welcome to the pack, dude. All right. Philip Spencer, loved your view on electric cars in Cali. Love the channel. Start stopping. Best wishes. Howdy from Montreal. It's easier to put my kids to sleep and then come here than come here and have my kids like. There you go. Already got sunglass tan. I gotta work on that when we film in California. Next round is cheers to you, Brian. Next round is going to be in California. We're filming on the 14th and 15th of this month. How's the house build coming along? Good thing you asked. The sheetrock is done. Siding should be going up this week. Then flooring this week because the sheetrock is done. The electric is going in. So we're all plugging away. Rob, what do you plan on doing once the Benz decides it's done dealing with your abuse? I don't know. Get something else. That's what's good about $1,000 cars. Is the New Jersey chapter open for public viewing? Are you talking about the New Jersey office? Yes. Carson Brindle, welcome to the pack, dude. Any thoughts on Trump being hospitalized for corona Thanks for the referral to Alan, by the way. Can't wait for the RS4 to arrive next week. The RS4 is an awesome car. I wish you luck with that one. No problem on the referral. Oh, yeah, Jimbo's channel to the tour of my house. Forgot about that. Why did I do a shared bathroom for the kids, though? Because, I mean, I've got 3 bathrooms and three. I mean, my wife and I will always share a bathroom. But I've got 3 bathrooms upstairs because I wanted to put a laundry room upstairs. So the kids can share a bathroom, or one bathroom will become my son's and one will become my daughter's. So it just depends. Like, there's no shortage of toilets in the house. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 toilets. So there's never going to be a point in time where anyone's without a John. And then we have 1, 2, 3 showers at any time. So, and there's technically not a shower downstairs in the basement, but there's a steam room with a shower head to rinse off. But I guess you could shower there. It's the same plumbing. But let me just get back to Carson real quick. He asked if there was any thoughts about Trump being hospitalized for corona. Not really. Like, I'm not a vindictive person, but like, he's one of those people to me, and like a lot of like politicians are, they live, they die. I don't care. He's the president, but there'll be somebody else will be the president. So, do I think he's going to survive? Absolutely. Do I think that, like, ha ha ha? Like, no, I don't really care. I feel bad that somebody got sick, but whatever happens to him, whether he's sick, not sick, it's completely indifferent to me. I don't think he's a particularly good person, but I've supported him for his first presidency, and I'd be voting for him again this year, only because I don't like the other options. I think we need to sort of get some smart people in there. And aside from the fact that he's probably the least trustworthy person on the planet, I do think he's very smart. So I would like some smart people running the country instead of politicians. I think politicians are essentially the problem that's been wrong with this country for decades and decades and decades. So you got to effectively drain the swamp and start over again. So I thought he was going to be the rock in the blender to do that, and he just did the Trump reality show for 4 years. But as far as his illness, as with anybody, I don't wish they succumb to an illness, but I don't care either way. Huracan Ian said, "That's cool. I've never met him. Somebody used to work with him. Told me he did nothing but talk crap about him, and I was like, that's a bummer. But I mean, maybe the two of them didn't get along. Yeah, no, I mean, I've read that in other comments. Like, I did. You do scroll through comments sometimes and see people were like, I heard Tanner's a prick. I heard Tanner, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, this guy was winning all these events and everything like that. So now he gets bum rushed by everybody who wants to be his friend. So I can see it. I sort of sympathize or empathize a little bit more than this person. He's definitely not a bad person. I don't think he's like, I don't think he's out to be he's a good person in that he's not like mean spirited. He's not mean to people. He doesn't think he's better than people. He knows he's a good driver, but that's like where it's at. Like I like he's like anyone. He's out there to enjoy himself and have fun. I did not hire Tanner for the show. That's speaking volumes. He heard about it and said, "That's really cool. I would like to do that." And that is how he became a part of the show. So to say anything like that guy's too important for life, or that guy's like I don't have a bad thing to say about him. So for what it's worth, I think I like to think and how I judge people or look at people is I don't care about what angry person's opinion is about somebody. I care about what like somebody's opinion that I trust. That's the opinion that I trust when they say like that person's good or bad. It's only people that I trust, not generic opinions I read on the internet or a guy knows them or like, yeah, Jim, he's an asshole, but he doesn't like that guy. Well, nobody likes Jim because Jim's an asshole. So. Okay. JB, which cars that you purchased for GDC hold their value the most? Which ones depreciate the most? Excellent question. So the uh, most depreciated cars are like the McLarens, Aston Martins, Maseratis. It depends where you buy them, at what point in that you buy them in. But McLaren's probably the ones that I took the biggest nut kicking on. And then the more generic cars, the Mercedes Benz, the Range Rovers, because we buy them new because people want them new, but then they go down in value pretty significantly. The ones that hold their value the most, like the C8, is probably not going to lose a dollar. I'm going to put 15,000 miles on it and uh, sell it for what we paid for it. The I don't know, certain cars just do better. Oh, look, remember my daughter was here because she needed an apple cut up, and I cut up an apple for her, and she didn't eat it. Um, the ones that hold their value the best, usually like a 458 or like V12 Lambo, the cars that are sort of on the upswing or are really hot and really new. Christopher Metcalf says, Christopher Metcalf says, why should people stay away from exotic car rentals from Turo? I want to try it, but it seems sketchy. Well, it is in a way. Turo only covers up to $75,000 in damage to your vehicle. I think people's plans are with Turo is to rent the cars, let them go out for like dirt cheap, as long as they fit under Turo's like value limit, and just let somebody bin the thing. Oh, yeah, whatever they're paying Turo for, that's the lowest bar. Oh yeah, you could buy insurance for $11 a day for a 600 horsepower Corvette. Then they crash it, and then Turo writes you a check for the car. So that's not a bad play, right? You're not having depreciation. You're not paying for insurance. They're taking care of it. They're taking a cut. But say you get in 100 rentals, and you can put $15,000 in your pocket from your cut of those 100 rentals, and then somebody crashes the $65,000 car, and they give you $60,000. You're ahead of the game. That's not a bad play, and you're not taking any of the risk. But the exotics are worth much more than that, so there's going to be a gap in the insurance coverage. And then also, like, Turo takes too big of a cut. I think it's a standard cut. So you have to be below the other rental car companies in order to get the business on Turo. But even if you're renting a car that everyone else is renting for $2,000 a day for $900 a day, then by the time Turo takes their cut, now you're at $600 a day. Is it really worth getting a $300,000 car for $600 a day? I think not. Not to me, at least. Joe Man, if you're just joining us, hit that thumbs up. Yeah, why not? To you. Strong silent type. Let's see. Somebody said, could you put subtitles on the TV, please? I don't have a TV at home. That's awesome. But you're watching on the screen, so you can watch TV through your computer. Leland Graham, Rob, do you need a videographer in New Jersey? Possibly. Send me an email. I will let you know. Join us, hit that like button. That stacks, yo. I don't have any money lying around. Cool. I think I caught up on that stuff. So, yeah, the house is coming along. The sorted show was awesome. That was a great time. David Patterson came down, which was awesome. We used a ZR1, 2019 ZR1, as our baseline car. Think about that. ZR1 is probably the fastest, or one of the top fastest track cars you can buy from a factory. And that was our baseline. And then cars were significantly faster. Most of them were, and then some of them were as fast, and a couple of them were not quite as fast. But that was a 755 horsepower car as a baseline is pretty stout. I think we had 4 cars over 1,000 horsepower, so that's pretty wild. Trump doesn't have a driver's license and all that stuff. Adventure Drive's coming up in a couple of weeks. House is coming along. Do I have anything? I don't think I took any photos of the house recently. I got to show you this again while it's still on my phone. It's a nice. There's 8 cars. It was quite the project to get 8 cars out there, even though I had 183 cars submitted. Getting cars out there that are modified to that extent. That are modified to that extent sucks, because like I had 3 cars drop out the 48 hours prior. I'm like, guys, 48 hours prior. 2 of them broke. One was a Datsun, a 1970 Datsun 240Z with a turbo Honda engine swap. Lightweight, full aero, cool car, but he fried his ECU on the dyno. I tell people, if your car is sorted, if you're like, I'm going to enter the show called Sorted, don't touch it. It's going to break. Let it break on us. It sucks to miss that opportunity. You're going to be in 4 episodes to break the damn thing in your driveway. Then there was an S2000 in New York, and there was, I think there was 3 cars. I got to look at my list. There was an S2000 in New York that went down. Oh no, we just put a new motor in. Then he wasn't making any boost. He was trying to get it ready, and he ended up bailing out because since he just put his new motor in, he didn't want to break it again. And I'm like, well, that's the worst part, dude. Time to get out of the sport. If you're going to build something and not drive it anymore, or not drive it hard because like you're afraid to have to fix it again. And I've been there. I did that with my Supra, and that's probably why there's such low miles. So I put like 2 motors in it. I'm like, I'm just tired of throwing money at this thing. I'm not wasting any food here. There you go. You're dying right there. It said disappointed the carbon fiber 240Z from Industry Garage. Tim, I think his name, couldn't make it. That was one of the cars that couldn't make it. I had a 1800 horsepower Supra, a Real Street Supra that broke at Race Week that was supposed to come. He didn't make it. I had a really cool 1100 horsepower R32 GTR. That one ended up not making it. That was stupid because he decided it would perform better if he switched it to sequential. So he tried to switch it from manual to sequential, like the week of. And it's like, oh, it didn't plug in as like they said it was plug and play, but it wasn't clearly plug and play. So when he told me his car wasn't ready, I'm like, yeah, no kidding. Let's see who else we had that dropped out here. That one. Some people couldn't. One guy sold his car, but this guy, like, I selected him and called. He wasn't like coming in it, but he sold his car. Who sells their car that they sign up for something and then they bail out like a week before? Another guy couldn't make it, but he could send his car. He had an all-wheel drive turbo Civic, 672 horsepower. And I wanted to get that down there, but at the end of the day, if the guy can't be there, I don't want him to send the car and not him. And there was another one. That was the other one. There was a turbo R8 a single turbo R8 that the guy was sending down from. He was actually going to drive it down. I'm like, oh, cool. If he can drive a single turbo R8 there, then he's going to be golden. And it didn't work. And he's like, I did. Like, first off, it wasn't going to get tuned in time. And then the guy was tuning it. Then he said, okay, we're good. We're picking it up. I'll see you there in 48 hours. And then he's like, oh, can't. This thing's undrivable. Bring it back. And then that's when I picked up the S2000, which replaced the other S2000, which I love. And then the Audi RS3 coming down. That was Rat's car. Rat Hana reached out to me. It's like, I've got the RS3. It makes a 930 horsepower. I'm like, it's a lot of power. I'm like, where are you located? He's like, Minnesota. I'm like, it's too far, dude. You're never going to make it. He's like, oh, no, we looked it up. It's 26 hours to get there. I'm like, yeah, it's Sunday. The thing starts on Tuesday. And he's like, no, we've got like 34 hours. So there's like a buffer. And I'm like, cheers to you, brother. See you there. And they were awesome. That was the first like car I test drove. And it was awesome. Remember, 930 all-wheel horsepower is like 1,100 horsepower to the engine. Let's see, we got Joe Mann here. Joe Mann says, Rob, any word on Professor Xavier? Oh, I probably made a joke about somebody like that, but I don't recall what the... Oh, Professor Xavier, you mean the guy who duped me out of the money? No, I haven't followed up on that. That's the problem with me and getting ripped off is like my time is sort of more valuable than chasing people like that. So I just accept the fact that when I get around to it, I throw a lawyer or somebody at them. They never get away because ultimately I do get bored and send somebody after them. But I haven't done that yet. So maybe in the winter. Plumber Man, I'm going to answer that one because that's a fair question. If you guys break a car on the show, what do you guys repair, or is it their own risk? People are coming to us stating that the cars are sorted and understanding what the tests are that we're doing with the cars. So if the car breaks, there's no finger pointing at us. If you don't trust myself, Matt, Amelia, or Tanner to drive your car, then don't bring out a car. But we're not out to break cars. Tanner pulled those cars in. If there was like, oh, the temperature was getting too hot, you told me where the temperature is maxed. You told me 250. It was at 252. I pitted. That's it. Like I'm not waiting till smoke pours out the engine. That is not the goal. Is not to break people's cars, but we're gonna hammer down. Like if you hand me the keys and say hammer down, we're gonna hammer down. So, and a lot of people were really good about that. They're like, dude, just hey, it's breaking up. Just keep going. Like, and people are just like, send it. And that was probably the coolest of everything, is that people want, so just let's make it fun. And like, I rather the car, and like everybody, even any car that ever was like having issues on the track, when it came back, they're like, I'd have them pick because they got 20 minutes. They say, get back out there. Like it should be good, or just see if like the Italian tune up, just step on the gas harder, or up the boost, lower the boost, and see what that does. So I'm excited for that. Great people though. King Kobina, got my Anson belts. They are awesome. The new buckles are cool too. Like this is not a plug, but like, look at that. And this thing as like the bottle opener is probably the niftiest thing. Like you'll get a Mexican, like I drink Mexican Coke more than I do beer, but get a Mexican Coke or something like that, pop the belt off. Or even like you're like, oh, my stomach's starting to hurt. You just pop the belt a little bit, loosens up a little bit. You feel like a champ. And your pants still stay up. What am I drinking tonight? This is the Whistle Pig 18, my friends, which is, I'm going to try not to take the whole bottle. Ooh. 18. That's always going to be backwards for you, huh? But cool bottle. Oop, get in there. The old Whistle Pig. We're going to Whistle Pig. They're partaking in my Adventure Drives trip, and we're going to the Whistle Pig farm. We're bringing like 40 people. I've got two 918s signed up for my trip, which is cool. 918s are awesome cars. Do you really think Trump has COVID-19, or do you think it's an election tactic? Trump has been trying to steer clear of COVID-19 apparently for a while, so I don't think it's an election tactic. But if anything, good, like you always have to look for the positives. And if there are no more debates, which I heard was a dumpster fire, you know what I know about the debates? That they took place and it was like, well, I didn't read any stories, I didn't read any depth, I didn't get any quotes, I didn't watch it, I had zero desire, and I'm a happy guy, right? Like the thing I don't get is that there is not one of you guys out there that doesn't know who's running for president and doesn't already. There's nobody undecided. Like, no, Biden, Trump. Like you're going one way or the other. That's it. So why are we going through? I mean, I get it's the process, but like spare the world the nonsense and just send. Let's vote tomorrow, so this is done. Uh, let's see here. But I did like, I can say, I don't want to give any results or anything because I don't want to ruin the show. But I can say I did semi enjoy and get a semi chubby from driving the Viper's sequential box. So uh, I may, and I may look into switching the old Corvette over to a sequential. But I do also like driving stick. But if I'm going to make it a race car, it will be faster if I make a sequential box. And I can confidently bang gears going to turns and squeeze that extra second off or 2 seconds of lap times without having to worry about like, oh, if I miss the heel toe going to this turn, guess what? The other option is wall. So I can push it a little bit harder. Am I doing sorted yearly? I think I'm going to do sorted. It depends on the sponsors, but if they like it and we're going to keep it going, um, we're going to do sorted. The goal for the initial round of sorted is regionals. So East Coast, West Coast, Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, Texas. We'll get the regional winners, and then when we have 8 regional winners, we'll have all the regional winners will race against each other, and that will be pretty cool. Um, and then when that's done, then we'll take the one winner from that, or maybe all 8 of them, and ship them over to the Nürburgring. That's fix the Corvette. I like my Corvette is like 6 hours away from being fixed at any point in time. I just don't have time to deal with it. I'll do my turbo swap. I'll do all that stuff. Once Rob Dom's ready to race, I want him to shake his car out. Cause like neither of us are close, so it's not like we can just trailer to a local track. So it's a lot of money for both of us to go somewhere and race. So I will hopefully have Rob's car sorted a little bit. My car, I can just send it because I know it works. I'm doing like vanity stuff. Like, let's get rid of all these extra wires. It's 40 pounds. Not that makes a dickload of difference with the car, but I will. I'll strip it down. I'll get the gas cap working because now I got to go pop the thing and pull the lever to open the gas cap. But yeah, Andy Vallet. Anyone in the world, who would be the epic person to race with my Corvette? Ooh. You know, I'm like just sort of open to race anybody. Like, I mean, that's such a generic answer, but like, I can't think of anyone that's got a car that I think would be equivalent. Um, and I don't follow these other like builds that are all going on. Uh, and like going and saying like, I want to race Shmi in his like P1 or something like that doesn't make any sense. Because it's a factory car versus a modified car. I'm trying to think of a build that exists. And I'm like, you know what, that was really cool. Like Rob Dom's is, but it shouldn't be a contest. I mean, you're talking 2,000 horsepower car versus 800 horsepower car. Uh, I don't know, and I'm trying to like I race like Shavam or something like that, but I'm trying to think of somebody that has something similar that I think would be cool. I mean, it's sort of like I'd like to race like a GT2 RS, if that makes sense, or like the hypercars. Like, can I whoop up on an Enzo, or can I like how do I do against a Koenigsegg? Stuff like that is stuff that would interest me more so than who. Sorry, I'm like leaning in the cars if I'm going up and down and left and right. Let's see. All right. But I'll tell you what, the Supra that was on the show, like that makes me want to drive my car. Like that car was awesome. Um, Sixth Sense said one of the guys on one Vinwiki said Tanner Foust is a prick. And who was the guy who said Tanner Foust is a prick? I think that one guy's opinion is now like tainting the world. But as I said earlier in the thing, I went in this. You got to watch the replay. So I went pretty in depth on this. I've got no issues with Tanner at all. I think he's a nice like he's a solid dude, and that goes well beyond what some random guy on the internet says about him. There's good people and bad people, especially in the car world. And like you could be a shitty person, and then you could be a shitty person with a Bugatti Veyron. You're still a shitty person. That was not directed at anyone with a Veyron. I'm just saying, like the car does not negate your being a terrible person. And I think Tanner's a pretty solid dude. Student drivers, street speed 01C7. Yeah, I mean, I'd race street speed or Cletus. Yeah, Cletus would be a fun one too. I like the project car challenges because that's these guys bringing out their like other built cars for these things. So hopefully we get one of those going. Maybe that'll be one of the sorted series, is all the project car challenge. But also a street speed 717 01C7. I mean, that's now starting in the 755 horsepower car. So we will see what ends up happening. And no, racing at the Freedom Factory would not be like you need, honestly, like Coda, Daytona, VIR, something that's like a proper track um, to do it. Because the cars are fast. Like even the Corvette, not a good car to run at Lime Rock. It's just too short of a lap. I watched something that said I'm like, this is becoming the Rob defends Tanner thing. I watched something that said Tanner was in his trailer whenever he wasn't in the scene. Maybe it was hot where they were filming. Like I'd be in my trailer too if I don't want to sit there and sweat my nuts off. Uh, and especially if he's not really into whatever show he's filming. I mean, there's 100 different reasons. Um, it was from Rutledge Wood, if I recall. See, that would give it a little bit more credibility, but I would then have to assert my opinion as somebody who's ate many meals with Tanner and many, like a handful, and then also had just worked with him and spent 3 days with him. That um, would say otherwise, because if Rutledge Wood said that, Rutledge also worked with Tanner, and Rutledge worked with Tanner much more than me. I don't know if that makes him a dick or people are interpreting him as a dick, but if like they were all cast for a show, it's not like Matt and I got together and did a show, which is what this was. Um, right now, it's Matt Farah and I. It was me doing the show, and saying, look, I'll get Matt, because Matt and I, like, I could just start talking right now, and Matt, finish my sentences. It's like we can just sort of, we're listening to what the other guy says, and like, oh, I know how I can take that, and we know, like, in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm going to talk for like 20 seconds, and then I'm going to like lead into something that somebody else can then jump from. And this way, if there's multiple people on screen, there's not one guy talking the whole time and the other people just standing there, or nobody's fighting for airtime. Matt and I work very well like that, and that, like, we can sort of lead off of each other. We know when they, like, you can sort of see the body language when the other guy's about to step in, and we know to segment it for the edit. How, like, okay, like, I've talked enough, let somebody else jump in from here, and if you just stop talking and then nobody says anything, it just gets awkward. So that's why I like shooting with Matt. JB says, opinion on Cooper leaving the Cletus McFarland YouTube. I mean, I think it's great. I don't know what they're, look, they started, two dudes starting a channel. I know Garrett worked at 1320, and then thoughts on Garrett leaving 1320 and starting a YouTube channel. Everybody's got to make their own money. And if you, I don't know what his split was. I don't know anything about that. What if it was a salary or whatever, but he was able to start a channel and probably do very well, like get 100,000 subscribers in a day, because of the presence that he built up on the Cletus's channel. And it's cool. Like, it's like, I support him. If he can make money on his own, he should make money on his own. And his channel will sink or swim based on its own merits. Um, but yeah. Doug DeMuro and his new site, Cars and Bids. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to it. When I look to buy cars, you know where I go? I go to autotempest.com. All the cars, one search. It makes it easy. It pulls cars.com, Auto Trader, eBay, Craigslist. It pulls all these cars together in one spot and makes life easy. It even pulls Carvana. Oh, nice. This guy, JB, what is it? Let me give you a shout out. JB8813. Cooper probably won't sell out on bad belts and Auto Tempest. Wow. Sick burn, dude. But yes, I'm going to tell you, because this isn't sponsored. These belts are awesome. I legitimately wear them every day. If somebody gave me a shitty shirt and said, like, here's, I'd wear it once. I'm not going to wear it every day. I wear these belts every day. I drink Whistle Big every week. Like, this is not, and then also, like, I'm not selling like Chinese made crap on my channel. I pitch stuff because I assume that everybody out there that watches me works harder for their money than I work for mine. And if it's not something I would spend my own money on, I don't pitch it. If it's something that doesn't cost you any money, hey guys, Vikings War of Clans, it's free to sign up. You play it, you don't play it, whatever you want, it doesn't cost you any money. I'll pitch that. But I don't pitch anything that I wouldn't spend my own money on. I use keeps. The Viagra and the Roman stuff, I don't use it, but it's clinically proven to help guys that have problems like that. So anything, and that's why I keep getting the same sponsors over and over again, because a lot of the audience does trust me, and they trust my opinion on things, and they know, and nobody, you never see like, oh, I bought that that whatever that Rob pitched last time and it fell apart, and the belt that fell apart. Like, I move good stuff for ideally good companies. I don't know the owners of the ownership structures of Roman or Keeps or any of these companies that I work with frequently, but at the end of the day, I walk the walk, and I also wear and use the stuff, especially even Manscaped. I use the ball clippers. Is there a discount for Anson belt? I don't know if they give a discount. I think they just do their 3 belts and 2 buckles, or 3 buckles and 2 belts for $99. And that, honestly, that's worth it. You get one of those every like 3 years, and you're set forever. I mean, I'm wearing, Jesus Christ, I'm wearing one right now, and I've got another one right here, which is I wear this very frequently, and like you could see, like it's starting to weather, like it's starting to show a little age. But like I've literally probably worn this belt virtually every day for, I don't know, probably a year or two. So that's why I got the other one I'm wearing is also the same color, because I was like, oh, I really like that one. I'm going to get another one. And this is the older style buckle. So you can see this is not like, this is smooth and stamped on. But you can see it loses its varnish a little bit from being used every day. And that's on the inside, but on the outside, holds up really nicely. So Anson belts, very good, and that's why I use them, and that's why I will recommend them to you. And that's why when I sell you guys merchandise, like shirts and everything like that, I get samples before I put it up. And so I don't work with, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Teespring, but I don't work with sites like Teespring that drop ship stuff that you never touch or you never see, because that's not me. I don't want to like just make a buck off of people. I want to sell them something good and quality that they're going to wear and like. Will the belt hold up to a holster? Yes, it will. It's actually a couple of you guys asked that, but yes, the belt does hold up to a holster. But like the thing that makes these belts cool, other than the fact that they open bottles, is that they're micro adjustable, and there's like, you're not going to rip these out. So if you see these little notches in here, see, and as the belt goes in, it's going to go click, click, click. Now, I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but that was 80 to 100 pounds of pressure. And you don't even put that much pressure on your belt with your fat gut, which we all have, unfortunately. But it doesn't even bat an eye. So it will easily hold a half a pound gun, whatever a gun weighs. Especially a carry, if you're carrying, even if you're carrying a 45, which I wouldn't go bigger than a 40 on a carry. Or maybe if you're open carry and you can do a full size, it's still like a pound and a half fully loaded. What was your favorite part of the last venture drive? Last venture in this country. It's such a scenic drive. It's not going to be the fastest drive, but the roads around it are phenomenal. Driving and staying in Montana, like I would, like if it wasn't Switzerland, it would be Montana that I would get lost in, if I ever disappeared. But that was a great time, and there was just a bunch of like snapshot memories I have in my head. Going to Crater Lake, driving on the racetrack was a lot of fun. Going to Yellowstone, going to Jackson Hole, all fun stuff. Let's see. Holster, we got that. Yeah, and like, oh, the underwear. So yeah, sheath, the underwear junk uplifter. Yeah, that's solid stuff too. I wear that every day. I'm just happy that I've had them long enough that I have lots of pairs of everything, and I've got lots of belts. Yeah, my shirts say from Teespring below the video title, because the only shirts that I can sell, like generic Super Speeders logo shirts, the only thing that integrates into that bar below the YouTube video is Teespring. But if you go to my store, superspeedersmerch.com, I don't sell any of that. I've got all that stuff in-house. Watching my cousin Vinny. Yeah, I hear you. What do you carry, Rob? I've asked about guns before, and you said you like them. I am a McLaren guy. Yes, you can have my autograph. You just have to be anywhere near me, and I'll happily sign anything for you. Um, I carry the. I've got two. I've got an LC9, the Ruger LC9. That's when I'm not a big guy, so I don't wear baggy clothes. So uh, the LC9 is like the thin gun, but I don't like the trigger pull on it, and it's like a very long trigger pull. Like it's like pull pull. Should go pew pew by now, but it doesn't. Okay, what there's something wrong with the gun, and then eventually it shoots. And then the bottom of the casting on the trigger guard on the LC9 has like a little casting circle. You've seen it on a lot of stuff. And after I go through a bunch of rounds, it ends up rubbing my finger after the shot. So I don't like that. So I would change a trigger pack on that, and I would definitely like modify the trigger and get rid of that casting, or at least tape it off. Then I have a PX4 Storm, is my 40 cal carry. I like that one. It's a double stack 40 cal, and it's got a little pop down on the magazines, so you can get a full hand on it. Is there a movie? No. There's no reason the movie's in the background because I'm going to go watch that if I'm not talking to you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Guns, autograph, blah 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 blah. I don't know what that is. All right. All right. Yeah, I think we're wrapping up. I have okay. So I do have like a P226, so the 6 hour. I have one of those. I got the Platinum Elite. It's very nice, and I got the P220 as well. The 226 I have is 9 mil, and the 220 is a 45. But and they're matching. They're awesome guns. But I wouldn't carry it. It's a full size handgun, so you can't really carry something like that. Cheers from Canada. How much do I charge for a sponsorship? Depends on the sponsorship. Some of them are a lot of money, some of them are less. Depends on what they're asking for. No, I haven't shot anyone. I don't even like shooting animals. I only shoot bad people and things that go boom. No, Jersey's a terrible place to get a carry license. I am getting to shoot some fun guns next week. I'm going to Minnesota. Now, I don't know if you guys are from Minnesota or you know of Minnesota, but there's a place where you can drive tanks. And I got an email. I'm like, hey, would you like to drive a tank? And then lots of words like, you ask any dude, like, would you like to drive a tank? And if the answer is no, I don't want to talk to you. So I am going to be driving several tanks. There's 4 of them. And 4 or 5 of them, and I get to drive like all these cool tanks. I get to shoot lots of cool guns, belt-fed weapons, all these like fully auto machine guns. I got a Class 10 license, which means I can probably fire a shell out of the tank if they've got them. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm going to be up. I'm going to be up doing that next week, and that's exciting. Then I'm off to California. I'm doing the California thing from the 13th through the 12th through the 15th, because I'm filming on 13th and 14th, 12th and 15th, the travel days. Then I go from there. I come back 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, I'm home, and then the 20th to the 25th, I'm doing adventure drives. That starts in Lake George, New York, and goes to. That's actually cool. Like if you guys have any money that's in the discretionary fund and any sort of fun car, or even if you don't have a fun car, you can scoop a fun car on Turo for like $800 for the week. You get like an M4, including the miles. But if you go out, that's going to be a fun little trip. Definitely some cool cars on there, and yeah. So I'm doing that till the 26th. And then after that, like a week later, I'll be there for a week, and then a week later we'll do the finale of Sorted, and that will be very cool as well. So yeah, see, there we go. King Cabina, the same guy who said he bought them before. Rob's been pushing Anson for a while. I pulled the trigger last week from my belt snap. They're really awesome. I'm down with the belts. I'm done with the belts with poles. That's what I like to hear. Cause like I try to tell people that, and I'm like, I'm not like you could unless I'm getting like 6-figure checks from somebody. I'm not going to wear something every day. I'm wearing it every day because it's good. I'm flying into Palm Springs, California on the 12th, flying out on the 15th. So, all right, guys. I think we've done this. This one's done. I hope you guys enjoyed your drinks tonight. If you did join me, if not, so be it. But otherwise, I just turned 40 the other week, and I've got now a collection of alcohol that's significantly greater than any one man should have. So when I do my my housewarming party at my house, or my holiday party, I hope that I'm inviting a lot of whiskey drinkers because we got plenty. Yes, I do plan on driving tanks over cars and anything else I could drive over. But thank you very much, guys. Uh, Happy whatever day it is, Friday. Happy Friday. And the Jets lost twice this week. Doesn't get any better than that. And next week I'll be out, but I will see you next Friday. We'll be here, and we will take it from there. Cheers to you. If you want to come on adventure drives, Rhode Island outdoors. Oh, we're going to be in Rhode Island. We're going to be in Newport. Big fan for a long time. You should come on our drive. That's what I was just saying. We're going to be doing the McAllen and McAllen are both solid touches. We're going to be doing the Adventure Drive trip October 20th to 25th. So if you guys want to come along for the ride, that's like the cheapest entry into the. And I want to say, is that Tommy Boy? Oh, I got to go. I'm just kidding. I'll say goodbye. But Tommy Boy is one of the faves. Uh, the the trip that it says cheapest $2,500 if you take a half a spot, and $2,500 for like a trip like that. But it never ends there because like all these people that come on the shorter trips or the smaller trips end up like it's like good motivation because when you do something that's awesome, there's somebody a guy I'm actually gonna have to sue told me once a necessity is a luxury you've experienced 3 times. Uh, the rest will answer itself. I'm gonna go watch Tommy Boy. You guys have a good night. I'll see you next Friday.